This is Kitzur Yomi as we continue learning Simin Chaf Vav, the parak that deals with Ta'usim in the Beis HaMikdash. And we pick it up from Simin Sif, Yod Gimel. Says the Kitzur. No, I was incorrect. That was the previous Simin. I apologize. The halacha is of Kaddish. Sif Yud Gimel, says the Kitzur. Where's the Kitzur? Here we go. Misha v'salbeis knesset beis hamedrash tamid. You daven constantly in a shul or beis medrash and b'olam your kaddish beis knesset zacheres. You can't say kaddish in a different beis medrash or shul. Havelim shabisham. Those havelim, the one that's their shul. Yechalim l'tchaisai. They're able to push you away. Va'afilu toich shiva. You're within shiva. Tigara me'arech. You're worse than a gas ki arech. And the makom l'tzpav l'mer and Areach is, well, quote unquote, homeless. And Areach has nowhere to daven and say Kaddish. You have your own shul. So by coming to the other shul, you are automatically on a lower level because of the fact you have somewhere else to be. Someone who's able to daven for the Amid, he should. And this is better for the neshama mikadish yasam. So the Kitzur here is teaching us. We've been discussing the kaddish. We've been discussing how it elevates the neshama of the nifteres. It says the Kitzur davening for the Amud is even higher. Shloi nitgan elikatanim, because kaddish was only instituted kaddish yasam for a katan who can't daven for the Amud. We should yachlis kol tefillah, someone who can't daven. Then, excuse me. Someone can't daven the whole tefillah. What should he do? He's halman ashiv al tefillah na'alon. Daven the end of the davening. He has a greater schos than those with regard to kaddish. You can go and mention shloishim. Im yesh lo gam kein schos yosef bin tefillah. Noyagin, what's the minog? Shein aval mizal ne'ateva b'shabes u'b'yam tiv. It's a minog. Note 43 points out from the Mishnah Berurah that on days with his halal and his musaf cholamayit or shcheish Chanukah, the aval does not daven at all. The Ber Halacha says anytime that Tachlin Laminasech are not said, and again, these are all totally on minhagim. Ach, im gam, koidim havelos, before havelos, let's say so when he was a chazin, he damned all the time. Gam bisman havelos ispalel, and this one would perhaps encounter, in Yom Tif, if someone who davens all the time and he's in Aval, there are times that he'll still daven. No 44 points out that for the Kitzur says, but not on Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur. But again, these aren't Isurim, these are Minhagim. Sif Tes Vav says the Kitzur Shnaim Sheshavim Medin Kaddish. Two mourners who are equal with regard to Kaddish and they're both able to daven. They're both able to daven for the Amud. Umerutzim b'shavali kal, and they're both on equal footing. That the people like them. Yatilu Garo, they make a lottery. Shechli Yisrael ad Hashiv Alatzion, Hashini Yisrael Hashiv Alatzion. V'mechan and Yachal Yisrael Ne'atev. One cannot have an Hashin and Rotzel Lekal. People don't want him to. Then V'Yisrael Hashem, and the other person daven. Lo Yihifsid Zeh Shespalel. The one that daven for the Amid does not forfeit schos b'kadishim. Kol makam yeshel levater. He should be. He doesn't lose it, but he should be mevatel neach kaddish. Allow the kaddish to be said lemisha lo hispalel. Someone who did not daven for the Amid, umikol shekin lekatanim, and certainly for ketanim. Sift ezvatayim mishu avel. Someone who's an avel avel v'gamaliva rachmana litzlan. You have more of a schos if someone's an aval for two people. Mishar aval. Misham de zikar nechad. It's one zikar and oila lekan ulekan. Noigin sev yodayin shenem mikadosh echad esar chadashim. The minhag is we say kaddish for 11 months. Why? We don't want to assume that a parent is a Rasha to Mishal Rishayim. Only Rishayim are Ushem Basar Chodesh in Gehenim. Shemeis Derech Mashal Yud B'Shvat. Paisig Leimer Tes Teves. So 11 months later, the day before, on Tes Teves, you used to add Yud Teves Yomer on the 10th. You don't say Tavi Yom Risha B'Chodesh Neim Asar, because that's the first day of the 12th month. Yom Echad B'Chodesh Chazar Chodesh Avikilu Amar Shneim Asar Chodesh. So we do not Do that. And now here's the $1,000,000 question. From when do you count the 11 months? Says the Kitzur Linyan Zeh. Moinim miyoim akvura, loy miyoim amisa. And again, this is often could be a problem because people remember the yard site is the yom hamisa, but the 11 months goes from the kvura. Shenikvar Yudal Shvat. As I posing via Tavis, the judgment does not begin al achar akfura. The day that he stops, that day he should say all the kadeshim. Rak liyartei kadesh echad, give the yartei one kadesh v'chein leben shleishim. Imish kam yartei lebnei shleishim. Nidlchu b'mneim the gamri. They're going to win. Misha Yodea Ba'aviv Moshe Rishayim. Someone Rachmana Litzlan knows the Lamaisa parent was a Rasha. Meisha Denim Shem was a Chaydesh. They can go 12 months again. And Roi Mechuyav. Shem Merkadosh Shem was a Chaydesh. So it's a fascinating thing. It's almost like you're incriminating the parent, but yet you're elevating the neshama. So it is Kedai. Sef Yirches because Yesh Harbe Avelim Rachmana Litzlan. Azai K'tei Shav Alidei Ketatzes Merivais. And of course, this is what we do nowadays. The reason why all the previous sifim that have been discussing, well, one goes to this one and one goes to that one, and we've been wondering when in the world, we don't do that. It's because we allow more than one person to Kaddish at a time. But again, we see the critical importance, as we've learned prior, that it should be said together in unison, perhaps at the bima, at some point. If it's not in shul, aviv, al aviv imai, and avol, I'm say kaddish, mishein lo yavim, kaddish yasam is allowed to be said by anyone who does not have a parent. Now, note 57 points out the Ramah, the Mishnah Berurah Paskins, even someone with a parent is allowed to say this kaddish. His parents are not going to object. It's not such a common minhag, but it is allowed. But Kol Meisi Yisrael, and he has in mind, he's saying it for any of the Mesim. That other relatives say, if there's no direct children. Someone wants to say Kaddish, over a grandparent, give him one Kaddish. Lacher Shem Amar Kol Echad. V'yesh Mekom Shenagu. Shegam Shar Kroivim Amar Kaddish. Avilim Makom Sheish Avilim Alavim. There are Avilim, but still other relatives say Kaddish. El Shaisim Shar B'neihem. Shenem Kol Kach Kaddishim. Kamay Avilim Alavim. V'ochem B'chol Zeh. Acharam Minog. These are different minhagim. Uvad Shei Minog Kavua B'yer. As long as there is a minog, everyone should follow such a minog. We continue with Sivcha. V'abas Ein Lo'iloi Mar Kaddish. V'ezegin SS. A daughter should never say Kaddish in shul. Yesh Aimrim. Shem writing last min bebeisa. Let's say she wants to have a minion in her home. She Taimer Sham in order that she could say Kaddish or Shos. Be Yadam. She's allowed to. Quoted from the Knesset Chesed Gamzos in Lasois that you should not do this, and this, of course, is not really the minhag. As we'll see tomorrow, there are other ways, obviously, to honor the neshama. Why? Or there are too many people, so you can get Kaddish Yachalemer, Kaddish B'tfilas Avish Lachar Yartzeit, Kaddish after the Yartzeit, you should say. Stop over here, we'll finish this in the next year. B'siyata Dishmaya.